live on YouTube as well. So there we go. But yes, we were actually filming earlier this week for the next episode of the How To Guide. And so we set up a green screen in the front office room, and that putting that together is going to be interesting.
This will be the first NC-17 How To Guide Patreon subscribers only at the top tier.
And it wouldn't be. No, we did that with the doll that we wrapped last year.
I'm just joking, guys.
Yes, I know you are.
We're working on that, though. We're working on that.
Yeah, well. Actually, I'm trying to script out as much of the year as I can, so I have everything ahead of time and I can get videos out a little sooner and keep a good schedule. So, it's a lot of work, but hopefully it will pay off. So, howdy, everybody. Welcome, and good to see you guys. So, yay. Hey, everybody. And that's what I was going to do. I was going to go ahead and turn on our little lamp. So I think I'm going to, put little Ramadan lanterns up here. But, yes, Darren actually had a very good question because he was asking, so what's with the different eyes of Horus on here? Or technically the eye of Horus or eye of Ra, a lot of times, they can be represented the same way.
I assumed it was Horus because of the curl in the tail.
Those are Falcon's markings, but yeah. So the thing is, we're celebrating the Feast of Makhir. It's the midpoint of the year. 6 months ago we had Egyptian New Year's, and in another 6 months we'd have the next one. So it's sort of like the high noon of the year. And one of the themes of that was filling of the sacred eye. And mythologically, that's when Ra's eye that went wandering in the form of, Sekhmet or Bast, whoever finally comes back to him. And so it's, he's whole again because he has her back with him. And there's probably another story involving the Eye of Horus and all of the parts of it being numbered up and it being whole and complete again. So that's why we have, the different ones like this one here. That's actually a piece of raw lapis lazuli that I painted a gold eye on. I'd love to find somebody who is a lapidary, who works with stone to actually take it and carve it into an eye. But, until I can find someone who can carve stone, I'm just keeping it as it is. So that's the thing. And so we're going to be lighting lots of candles and offering bread. And I even have some extra things because I got Pocky and chocolates and a nifty little candle holder. I've seen these in people's photos, and they're always really cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, where did you get it? And these things here, let me see if I can get it in the camera. These things are so pretty. You get them at World Market. So there's lots of cool things that you can use for your altar that come from World Market. So go figure. But there we go. So let's see. Yeah, that's one way. Is the eye of one way of eye of Horus versus eye of Ra. One face is left, the other face is right. Or the sun and the moon. The funny thing is, I read a scholarly article. I'll have to figure out where it is. I think it had something to do with the new year or something. But even for the Egyptians, there got to be sort of a blur between the Eye of Horus and the Eye of Ra. So they could be represented similarly, and so now some of the things that you might hear folks say about the Eye of Isis or the Eye of Pharaoh, whatever, that's a little inaccurate. But between the Eye of Horus and the Eye of Ra, those can get a bit blurred. But either way,
in the case of a Bast, you'll often see her wearing the Eye of Horus.
Yeah. Now I do have a pet peeve that I sometimes see artists do is they will draw like the cat. Actually, it's funny. My tapestry in the back has this too. They'll draw like the Bast cat or the Horus cow. I mean, not horse, the Hathor cow with that eye on them with the falcon's marks, and not everything had those marks. That had a specific purpose. Not everything, I don't know. Maybe we should blame the DC Vertigo artwork with death, and she had the marks on her eye. I don't know.
Damn you, Neil Gaiman! Damn it!
No. Neil Gaiman was actually
Neil
really,
Gaiman's a very nice man.
Yeah, very 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 down to earth sort of guy. Did you realize we met him 20 years ago?
I know, right?
Yeah, it was at a sci-fi con at Texas A&M University. They actually have their own sci-fi con.
We were meeting people back when my hips were made of bone.
They still are, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so to try and get us in the right frame of mind, because I kind of feel like we all could use that now. I feel like I needed that. What? You okay?
No.
So you're supposed to be taking your allergy meds later, right? Okay. Because I'm looking a little allergy-ish. But I have a cure for that, I bet. These cool waters are upon my hands. They purify me. This technique purifies me. Hail unto you, and naturally, we come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands, purity is within our hearts. We cast out all evil that pertains to us.
Oh, thank you.
See, isn't that better?
Oh, yeah.
Just put a little on your face. There. See? We are pure. We are pure. Pure. We are pure. Isn't that better?
It is. Y'all, she's so sweet.
Mm-hmm. No casting aspersions.
But I do it so you get blessings too. It's done out of love.
I'll flick you with a pine cone. Okay. So we have lots of candles to light. Start with our first one. There we go. Come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light. The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light. The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes till none remain. Receive the light. The eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world, to everyone who is tuning in, now and in the future. And we are purified with it. receive the light.
Receive the light.
And we'll light our other candles. For Hathor, you'll also connect us the Eye of Ra. There we go. Sekhmet. And for Mahes, we ask him to continue to protect our friends and loved ones. See, Darren had mentioned there's supposed to be a winter storm come through this weekend. And while it won't affect us where Darren and I are at, there are other folks north of us that could potentially be affected. And we ask Mahes to keep an eye on them. You arise in the Kepri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You sit in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Dewatt. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven in Dewatt. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from noon at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hoof at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, and hail and praise unto you, O Yunuchidu, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness and our hearts receive your wisdom. And may you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out his fet. May you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of night, your protection being before us and your strength being within us. Take these, your cool waters, which are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. Ora Horketi O Sekhmet, these waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood of Yunuchidu, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. We give you incense, great to purity. Its fragrance is the eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you, it cleanses you, it adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. O Yunuchidu, we give to you this eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread, your loaves for the Feast of Makhir, on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, so Yunuchidu. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. And also, these other offerings, may you lift them to your faces and be at peace with them. The gardens prosper and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, O Yunichiru. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine, and your water. Pure, pure is Ra Horaketi within his house. Pure, pure is Sekhmet the Great within her house. Pure the cause of these gods with this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance, thousands of offerings, all things good and pure, for Ra Horaketi, for Sekhmet, and every place that there are mortal cause dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horaketi. Come to your body, O Sekhmet. Come to your bodies, O Yunechiru. Come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people. Raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra, before Sekhmet. All life comes from them. All health comes from them. All stability comes from them. All good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time. O Ra Horaketi, and your son, the Osir Nisudneb Kaparura, your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these, your offerings, and receive them from our hands. Poor Darren, I think the myrrh got him. From the gods to the blessed dead, we light this candle, that it may be the eye of Horus that lights their way in Dewatt. And we bring these cool waters, which are the inundation, that their hearts may be refreshed. Horekere tachen kets kakao afdus en etchermahat. Kutnebet nofre wabet anket neshrim in kawan akupunibu macher nibu hirnachra. A voice offering, bread and beer, 1,000 of beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which a god lives. For the cause of all of these Aku, all true of voice before the great god. And now we come unto you, O Ra, as Jehuti comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your cause shall live. Truly your need has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Aeneid says unto you, your word is law eternally. This fed is cast out by your word. Rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. And truly, the sacred eye is filled. And may we always act with gentility and compassion, such as the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality, for such as the second Ma'at. May we always respect consent and fidelity, for such as the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness, for such as the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth, for such as the fifth Ma'at. May we always promote the public good, for such as the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance, for such as the seventh. The seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others, for such as the eighth Ma'at. And may we uphold Ma'at like Jehuti, that we may witness Ra's perfection every day. Okay. I have a few things to read specifically for the Feast of Makhir. Hang on. Wonderful. The bird got you. Okay. And this is actually something that comes from the Book of the Dead. That's where we know a lot about what we do about this feast. Comes from the Book of the Dead because there are things that were said to be read on the last day of the second month of winter, which or the season of Beret, which would be now by our reckoning, and it's the midpoint of the year. So, here we go. The mighty one appears, lighting up the horizon. A tomb appears, perfumed with incense, the luminous one who rises in the sky. The mansion of the Benben is in joy, and all its residents are assembled. A voice calls out within the shrine. A shout reverberates throughout Dewatt. Obeisance is done at the word of Atum Horaketi. His Majesty gives command to the Enid attending him, for he is happy to contemplate the sacred eye. Behold my body, to which protection has been given, and all my limbs which have been made to flourish. His Majesty's word goes forth, and his eye rests in her place upon his brow, in the 4th hour of the night, and the land is happy this last day of Makhir. The majesty of the sacred eye is before the Enid. A tomb shines as on the first occasion, and the sacred eye is in his head. Ra Atum the everlasting, the sacred eye, Shu, Geb, Osiris, Set and Horu, Jehuti who travels eternity, Nut, Aset, Nebetat, Hathor the victorious, the two Shemayat goddesses, Ma'at, Anapu of the sacred land, born of eternity, and the Ba of Jadu. When the sacred eye has been filled in the presence of the Lord to the limit, standing completed and content, these gods are joyful on this day. Their hands support her, and the feast of all the gods is celebrated. They say, Hail unto you, and praise unto Ra. The sacred bark sails, and Apep is felled. Hail unto you, and praise unto Ra. The form of Khepri has come into being. Hail to you, and praise unto Ra. Rejoice over him, for his enemies have been driven away. Hail to you, and praise unto Ra. The heads of the Mozabadesh have been cut off. Worship to you, and praise to Ra. And that comes from Book of the Dead, chapter 140. For I think there's a study group on Discord that's reading the Book of the Dead. So if you look for chapter 140, that's where that comes from. And so a hymn now to Ra Horaketi. And incidentally, what I'm reading is actually from Circle of the Sun. So that's my source for these. Hail to you, one transfigured and sharp, Atum Horaketi, who rises in the horizon of heaven. All people rejoice unto you. Beautiful one, refreshed in your time as Aten within the hand of your mother Hathor. You arise in every place, and every heart rejoices. The dual shrines pay homage when you come. Rejoice when you rise. Arising in the horizon of heaven, you shed turquoise rays upon the two lands. Ra, who is Horus of the horizon, the divine child, heir of eternity, who engendered and birthed himself. King of this earth, ruler of Dewatt, chief of the desert necropolis. Emerging from the waters, you drew yourself from noon, nursed yourself and raised yourself. Living God, Lord of love, all people live when you shine, crowned as King of the gods. Newt greets your face. You embrace Ma'at in all seasons. Those in your following sing your praise, touching faces to the ground at your approach. Lord of heaven, Lord of earth, King of Ma'at, Lord of eternity, ruler of everlastingness, Prince of all the gods, living God, maker of eternity, creator of heaven who establishes what is in it. The Aeneid is in jubilation when you rise, the earth in joy at seeing your rays. The elders emerge in praise to see your splendor every day. You sail above the earth every day, strengthened in your mother Newt. You traverse what is above, and your heart is glad. Okay. And now I'm going to step over. Oh, wow. Lots of good comments, hopefully. Oh, goodness. So, Sean, so you had dealing with eye issues. Well, you know what? You've come to the right feast. May your eyes be healed as the sacred eye of Ra has been healed. Okay. Okay, prayers for a best friend who passed away, definitely, because I've been missing my friends. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, and the storm's going where, yeah, because Sarah, where you're at, it's way up there. Okay, long life and ask the gods to be with me. Okay. Yeah. Oh goodness, that's good advice. I'm going to read this for everybody. My friend Heath would have turned 21 this year. Please look both ways before you cross the street. If you drop something, just keep going until it's safe to pick it up again. Yeah, and a good friend of ours lost a younger brother, to a car accident, like that. He was hit in the street, although I think he was on bicycle, but the same advice applies. The thing about look both ways before crossing the street, they mean that. It's serious. So, yeah, okay. Prayer request for my dog has arthritis in his neck and it makes his body hurt. Okay, yeah. Just can y'all get him some doggy prednisone? Because I had a dog named Dragon that she had arthritis in her hips. Of course, that's something that a lot of breeds have, and it tends to progress over time. But they have prednisone for canines that might help. So here's hoping and praying. It's healing my mom's. Just finished. Since my last prayer request, she's had no problems with it and figured out her meds to keep the pain away. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Yes, and Kai Sobek, what your question about that? Yes, that is correct. There's different ideas about what happens to the deceased in when they go into Dewatt or the Fields of Peace. But yes, one of them is that they join Ra in his daily circle, and ride in the bark with him, the bark of millions. So yes. Okay. Oh goodness, going through harassment in the workplace, taking it to ethics, but pray that it will be settled soon. Definitely. Oh, okay. And my best friend loves Sonic the Hedgehog. My little brother loves Sonic, or well, he did when it was a big thing back in the 90s. But Naruto and Beyblade. Okay. Prayers for humility and compassion, and also our friend Jory had prayers of thanksgiving because his grandfather, who had been in the hospital last month, is better. And just he has a relationship going, and may it stay strong, and prayers for this pandemic to end, definitely. So and also a friend of ours from the Facebook group, Bartosz, I think is how he pronounces his name. He lives in Poland, and he was asking for prayers for mental health, and I know that's something that a lot of people are dealing with, and so we extend our prayers. May Ra's light and sun and warmth guide us to better days, and may we be able to rejoice with him when he comes up in the sky. So I have a specific prayer for that. Hear us, O Ra, great Lord of Yanu, and place your arms of blessing around all of those who have joined us tonight, and all of those who are sharing their prayers with us. Let them rejoice in your bounty, and their hearts take joy in your kindness. Tell Neat and Upo to open their ways for them, and may you protect them with your strong arm of compassion. For you are the All-Lord, the Lord of Ma'at. Holy and splendid is your name. Capri at dawn, Atum at dusk. Ra Haraketi as you rule the nine. And yes, the prayer that I have, I'm grateful for the things that I've been able to get accomplished so far. But I hope that I ask that I continue to have the opportunity to get caught up, because I have an idea for something that would be really awesome that would actually involve some animation, and I'd like to be able to do it. But that means I need to get some other things finished and out of the way, and I really miss being able to draw and do animation, and I hope to get back to that. So that's my prayer. So. And also I noticed, Midnight had a question about where can I find a place to read the Book of Dewatt. Yes, if you join the study group is on the Discord channel, so I'll need to get a link for that, and that's kind of a pain, at least on the computer. But another place that you can find it is, I'll show you. I'll just have to step in front of the camera here. I've actually been trying to reorganize my library because I've had some new books to add to it. But this one was actually a Barnes and Noble special, but it's a legitimate copy. But that's the Ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead. It's the translation by Raymond O. Faulkner. And it has lots and lots of great illustrations in it. If I can see if I can show one of them here. But actually, so 140 is right here, and it's funny, it has directions that go with it, but come on. Yes, book to be recited in the second month of winter, last day, when completing the sacred eye in the second month of winter, last day. So that's where we're at right now, and that's the title of the spell. And incidentally, the candle prayer that we have is for kindling a torch for a person in question. We adapted that for our candle lighting, so right there. But it says at the end here, to be for the one that we read earlier, to be spoken over a sacred eye of real lapis lazuli or carnelian, decorated with gold, which is what we have. It's a piece of real lapis painted gold. There shall be offered to it everything good and pure before it when Ra shows himself in the second month, last day. And there shall be made another sacred eye of red jasper, which is to be placed for a man on every member which he wishes. It's jewelry. He who utters this spell will be in the bark of Ra when it is taken out with these gods, and he will be like one of them, and he will be raised up in the realm of the dead. So, again, in answer to your question, does did the dead get to travel in the bark with Ra? There you go. As for him who utters this spell, also the offerings when the sacred eye is complete: 4 braziers for the sacred eye, and 4 for Ra tomb. One for each of them. 5 good loaves of white bread, 5 cones of incense, 5 flat biscuits, 1 basket of incense, 1 basket of fruit, and 1 of roast meat. So it calls for the types of offerings, and couldn't quite stack 5 of them on there, but we're making note of it. So there you have it. And there are a lot of different copies of the Book of the Dead. I'll tell you what, another one that you might be able to find that's very nicely illustrated is this one, and it's much bigger, but there you go. So if you dig around, there are copies that you can find. So and I think there's also some of them are on there's an online resource, and it's I think it's Oxford University, or was it University College? There's a university in Britain that has an online resource, and it doesn't have every spell, but it has a lot of them. So just check with the folks on the Discord group. I'm sure that they can provide links to some of that. But okay, is the offering ritual adapted from the pyramid text? Well, the one, or at least the part that I use here, it traces all the way back to that. There are things that I've noticed in the pyramid text. It's kind of in the wording is fairly simple for some of it, and then they took the same things and just elaborated it a little more and a little more over the centuries. So by the time you get to the ritual of Amenhotep I, which that's one that we have preserved, and I was able to get a hold of it in a journal article, and that's what this one's adapted from. It's the same basic thing, but the wording's a little bit expanded. So hopefully that. Oh, and bear with me. I think our connection is acting a little funny because I noticed our video call is a little. It's like it's having to recycle, but at this point, if anybody's got divination requests or further prayer requests, just let me know, and we'll get those going. And I will see if I can possibly get into Discord and actually provide a link, because for whatever reason, hang on, Discord login. Oh, wait. Oh, and that's help. That's not. Like I said, I have the app on my phone. I can pull it up on my phone, but that's a little bit different. It's harder to share. Okay. What in the world? No. Anyway. Okay. So Ashley for life. Okay, and Don Caligro, and the journal. That's also in my library. It's if you can find a way to look up, I think it's in the Journal of Near Eastern Studies. And both of those, I would recommend you go to either go to your public library or university library, because access to those is not free unless you're going through a library that basically has an account with something like JSTOR. But you go look for the Journal of Near Eastern Studies and look up the ritual of they're going to call it Amenhotep the First, and that's it's rather lengthy, but a lot of the liturgy that I have is based off of that. So, So, okay. Ashley for life and Don Peligro and then Serrana. So let's go ahead and get those. Scoot this over since our incense is burned down a little bit. We can just do it like that. Okay, so Ashley for life. You have two. Oh, what? Yeah. Okay, so here's your first one. Prevention is better than cure. So that's your first one, Ashley. Now your second one. It says, let hatred turn into friendship because of your existence. Now, those, the prevention is better than cure. Don't let something get out of hand. Take care of it now before it becomes a bigger problem. And, let hatred turn into friendship because of your existence. Just, okay, because you're there. I suspect for you, if you think about that, that's going to make sense. So, those are your two. And next is Don Peligro. There we go. And it says, to love and win is the best thing. To love and lose, the next best. Come on, Boo-Boo. I know you're tired. Need some water or something? Okay. But here you go. To love and win is the best thing. To love and lose, the next best. But notice that in both of those, love is, the deciding factor. So hopefully that makes some sense. And Serrano is next, and Alejandro needs some divination and a prayer for guidance. So we'll start with Serrano. Yep. Okay, Serrano. Perceived failure is oftentimes success trying to be born in a bigger way. So, I think that's very powerful. If there's something that you think is a failure now, it could turn out to yield success later. So it's success trying to be born in a bigger way. So that is a hopeful message. Okay, and Serrana and then Alejandro. May you give some guidance to our friend Alejandro. And their message is, a way out of a financial mess is discovered as if by magic. So I think that message is hope. Hang in there. A way out of a financial mess is discovered as if by magic. And the funny thing about magic is we can't see it ahead of time and think of it. Then it's not magic. It's you got to have that faith, and when something comes up, recognize it and take advantage of it. So a way out of a financial mess is discovered as if by magic. And we're certainly, whatever might be troubling or puzzling you, we're hopeful for you. We're pulling for you. Okay. Okay. Okay, you remember Ryan, right? If you can please get the link later, you could ask him to send it to me on Telegram. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. And okay, Kai Sobek. And I've heard of that journal. Anyway, idea of what year it was issued. The Journal of Near Eastern Studies is an ongoing journal, and it's a periodical publication that's put out by the Oriental Institute of Chicago. And goodness, the particular article, you'll notice it's like a 2 or 3 part article, and it's like several decades old by now, but it's still like a standard reference point. And so I said I'll have to find it. I'll find it on Messenger, and I can give that to you. And as for the link to the group, so Orion needs the link to the Discord. Yeah, I'll try and get that to you guys. Let's see. And Sarah. Okay, so Sarah and then Kai Sobek. So for our friend Sarah. All right, where'd it go? There we are. Sarah Austin. Says, act as if it were impossible to fail. So in other words, don't let doubt, stall you. Go like I know what kinds of things you're trying to get started right now. Just go for it. Don't worry about is it going to work? Am I going to get accepted or not? Just act as if it were impossible to fail. Just go for it. You've got more going for you than you realize is what it's the sense I'm getting. So, and for our friend Kai Sobek, and also prayers for his family and loved ones, his aunt and his grandmother. May they have life, prosperity, and health. And may he have some guidance for the week ahead. And it says, the greatest pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do. That, it'll never work, proving them otherwise. There's no greater pleasure than that. The greatest pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, if there's any more, what's JSTOR 2? Okay. If you have JSTOR, then yes. I tell you what. Since we've got a second, I'll check this out, and if you guys have any more prayer requests or things like that, just or request for divination.
I have a prayer request.
Okay. Hang on. I think I've got it in this one here. So what I did is this is a binder, and I put let's see. All right. Certain reliefs at Karnak and Medinet Habu and the Ritual of Amenephis I by Harold Nelson. It's volume 8 of the Journal of Near Eastern Studies, published July 1949. As I said, many decades old, but by University of Chicago Press. And so, there you go. And, spell for fixing the brazier for thy ka, and stuff. And see, the thing is, it comes from the memorial temple of Amenhotep I, but what they noticed was that it has such a striking similarity to the daily ritual for Amen. And so that's, something they talk about in the article, and that's why I used it as a point of reference, because it's, very similar. The problem with the, we have a papyrus that has information from like the daily ritual that was done in the big temple of Amen, but where it's published, I think it's either in German or it's in some book that's like out of print. And very, very difficult to get a hold of. But, the nice thing is there are other works that, are not out of print, that are accessible. And, they're a good point of comparison. So there you go. So let's see if I can slip that back in the library. And you have a prayer request.
From my pal David in Modesto, who is dealing with COVID.
Oh yeah, he's dealing with COVID, and his wife is due to deliver any day.
Any day, could be tomorrow.
Okay, well, we will ask Tauret to please look after his wife.
And
I think this is baby number 4.
Baby number 4.
Yeah.
And I know his girls are missing him, and he's missing them because he's having to isolate from the whole family. And I heard from him today. He said he's feeling a little better, but his chest hurts a lot.
Yeah, well, we prayers for him that he can recover and that it doesn't turn into long COVID. Okay, and I'm looking for some notes here. So we're going to ask Sekhmet to bring healing to him and to all the folks that we know that are sick, whether it's with COVID or something else, because Jennifer saw is dealing. Yes, she's sick. She's got a respiratory infection. They've given her antibiotics, and they've given her another COVID test, but she had one recently. So we're thinking it may not be that. It may just be whatever's going around.
By now, I'm sure she's going to memorize that test.
Oh gosh, poor thing. Yeah, but hail, O Sekhmet, mistress of the horizon of Ra. Good eye who makes the two lands live. O great Sekhmet, great of plans, daughter of Ra. Mistress of Karnak, sweet of life. O Sekhmet who commands the east. Courageous goddess, mistress of the twin acacias. Mistress of high noon. Very appropriate for now. We ask you, O Lady Sekhmet, to please bring healing and convey our love to those who are sick, and put your arms around them and help them to get better. And may we have the sweetness of their company for as long as possible. Yes, and if you think of a year as a cycle, kind of like a day, New Year's is the dawn, the end of the year is sunset. We're at the high noon of the year, the liturgical year, and of course Kepri is the the sun child or the beetle. That's the aspect of the sun god, at morning, and Atum is his form, in the evening. But Ra Horiketi is the sun god at his peak. He is, the manifestation at high noon, and so that's where we're at right now, and that's why that metaphor is appropriate. And may he bring sunlight and cheer and good tidings to everyone who's dealing with seasonal affective depression, because we could all use a little sunlight in our life. So okay. Awesome. Alrighty, everyone. Well, if there aren't any more requests, and there's one other thing. I'm hopeful that things will get better, and we'll be able to do something that we planned, for a little later on, if they're not going to cancel parades or anything. I had something. I think what I'll wait and I'll save those and show those off. The video. I've got lots of things planned, but I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
Right.
So, okay.
I mean, these are big plans. This stuff is going to cost tens of dollars.
Tens of dollars, yes. Oh, well put. I can't say this. Coffee and sleep deprivation leads to some really creative ideas for book reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I won't say anything else because I don't want to spoil it. Okay. Hail unto you, Atum. Hail unto you, Capri. You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Unu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving... How appropriate.
Not fake, y'all. That was real.
Well, you know what? That's appropriate, right?
Yes.
Because I sneezed out Shu. So there you go. Let's see. May the giving of these offerings endure. As the name of Atum, foremost of the great in need, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Geb at the Earth's Ba endures. As the name of Newt in the Shrine of Shinit in Unu endures. As the name of Osir, Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Asset in Nicheru endures. As the name of Sutek in Nibet endures. As the name of Horus in Pei endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti in Kemenu endures. As the name of Ra in Yaket endures, likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Sekhmet, O Yunuchadu. May you go forth in peace, O Ra, O Sekhmet. May you go forth in peace, O Yunuchadu, to every place your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Menjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay, now. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Well, as always, I was glad to have you all here. I hope you guys do well and have a good week. And may all your prayers be answered. And may we see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Nope, no bats.
No bats.
Nope, I've evicted all the bats. Bats carry COVID. No bats.
Well,
Same cat time.
No cats.
cats. Oh well, no, but you know what? That's cute because that's a reference to the old '60s Batman show, of course. Just in case, I have to realize some folks might be a little young for that. But in the episodes with Catwoman, they would say same cat time, same cat channel.
That's right.
Well, considering we have some sacred cats.
Incidentally,
on the altar.
That show premiered 56 years ago this week that just got passed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So that's how old it was? Okay. Yeah, and in the late 80s, they used to run it on...
What is now TBN? It used to be... It used to be CBN, the Christian Broadcast Network. But
well, before then, it was like USA or something, network or something like that.
Before it ran on that, it was... Geez, I'd have to go look because, I will admit, I was an avid watcher.
Yeah, and
all my life. If it's on, I'm watching it.
Yeah, well, I just remember catching that like a couple of summers when I was, like home by myself because my brothers were at daycare, but, I was old enough that they let me stay in the house. And, so I ended up catching a lot of weird TV like that. And I happened to catch the 60s, that Adam West Batman thing, and they had like one of the episodes with King Tut, and I was like, what in the world is this?
Those are all crazy. And
I know, it's totally campy, but yes. But anyway.
Love you guys.
Adam West's dance moves.
Oh yes, God, Adam West dancing. Apparently, the difference between the 60s Batman and Batman these days is Batman used to get laid a lot.
Well,
off camera anyway.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Well, I'm just going to say this.
Nobody would have ever said, and a woman's.
Oh, no. Well, like I said, if you have nothing better to do this week, just Google Batman won't go down on Catwoman.
And have Kleenex, you're going to laugh.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
Really, really hard.
Okay. Much love, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.